Okay, we are now joined live in the interview room by the winning jockey and trainer of Union Rags. On the left, jockey John Velasquez, his second Belmont Stakes victory, having captured the race in 2007 with Rags to Riches. And on our right is trainer Michael Matz for Michael, his second Triple Crown race victory. Of course, he won the Kentucky Derby in 2006 with Barbaro. Mrs. Phyllis Wyeth, by the way, preferred that just John and Michael handle this session, so we'll just have the winning rider and trainer. Congratulations, gentlemen. Fine performance. And Michael, my first question for you, as great a career as Union Rags has had to date, there's been some disappointment here and there mixed in, tough trip loss in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and a Kentucky Derby in which he didn't have the opportunity to make his best run. Does this kind of make up for the mishaps of the past?
Well, I would have to say yes right now. I mean, it was. I don't think those things can all be blamed on the horse. I think there was, and I'm not blaming the riders either. It was just a circumstance that happened. But you know, those were 3 races that were worth $5 million. So it turns out to be a big deal. Yes.
And one change that was made for today's race, Michael, is John Velasquez on board. Can you comment on the ride he gave Union Rags and what difference it made in your eyes?
Well, I mean, I thought he rode a brilliant race today, and whether he got up there or he wouldn't, he still rode a great race. He got the horse away from the gate cleanly, got settled into stride wherever he was. We just gave him the. Johnny came up to me and said, I didn't say a word. He just said, break and get in a nice rhythm and go from there. And that's exactly what he did. So he's a strong rider. He knows Belmont. And that were some of the things that figured into picking John. And to be quite honest, when Javier took off the horse, we did ask John to ride the horse, but he could not give us a 3-race commitment at that time, because he was riding Animal Kingdom in Dubai. And I didn't want to keep changing there back and forth, so he gets the mount anyway.
Well, John, that 3-race commitment is looking pretty good for you right now. Can you take us through the trip you had out with Union Rags and also your ability late in the race to kind of sneak through on the rail?
Well, you know, the main concern with him was that I wanted to break well out of there and get a good position. And like Michael said, I just wanted him to get him a good rhythm, you know, and going forward. I didn't want to get him stopped. I just wanted to get him a good rhythm that he feel comfortable wherever he was. He did everything really well behind the horses. Coming down the stretch, to tell you the truth, it wasn't my intentions to come in there, but when the other horse came over and the quarter pole and went out next to me, I think Julian actually wasn't the horse. And I said, well, this is my opportunity to get through in the rail. And when he got close to Mike Smith, and I saw Mike put the whip left-handed, I was like, well, this is going to be my chance. I'd rather stay here and wait for the hole to open. And it just happened, you know, I got lucky, you know. And it was one of the things that it opened up when it did. And I have to say that the horse did it all, because, I mean, at first the hole was pretty tight. I engaged him to get into the hole, and at first I said, I don't know if it's going to open up. I kind of anticipated it was going to open up, and he took it. And once he took it, he put a good fight, and I mean, you got to give it all to the horse.
Okay, I want to remind people listening upstairs in the press box that they can ask a question by going to the center of the room there, and Joe Mig will relay it down to us. Meanwhile, we're happy to take questions here, and I will repeat the question for the benefit of the many people who are listening to this from elsewhere. And yes, you can start.
Michael, as you're watching the race, are you thinking he's not going to get the chance to get through? Take us through what you're thinking as you're seeing him.
Well, we were
The question is for Michael. As you're watching the race, what are you thinking coming down the stretch? Are you worried he wouldn't get through or wouldn't get there?
Well, it didn't look like he was going to get through, and you know, I was worried. But like I say, he got him through there, and he's a strong enough rider to make it happen, and that's really what we need. And he's a big horse. It's not like he should be pushed around. So it was just the fact that, you know, 1.5 miles is an unknown distance. If we're going to get there, we're not going to get there. And luckily, with the ride Johnny gave him and the horse being as game as he was, they both got the job done.
John, this is a question from upstairs. And Michael, if you would just move the microphone a little closer. No, closer to you. That would be better. John, this is the second year in a row you've picked up a Triple Crown mount late and scored with it. Can you talk about that good fortune?
I don't know. I guess I'm the lucky one. I guess that's the only way to describe it. Well, I guess when it's meant to be for you, it's meant to be for you. We did. I have to say it. I mean, this horse. We've been looking at this horse for a long time. This winter, I even talked to Angel. Javier was riding a couple of horses for Type Pleasure, which looked really, really good at the beginning of the year. And I said, well, if we can get on Union Rex, it'll be perfect. I think that would be the horse of the future. And we did talk about it a lot. The only problem that we did have was that, we had a commitment to Animal Kingdom, and he came back and he won his allowance, and the whole thing was that if he won the allowance, he was going to go to Dubai. So Angel had a conversation with Michael, and he said, I can't lie to you. I'm going to be riding Animal Kingdom in Dubai, so I can't give you a commitment for the 3 races. So going back to the question, I mean, we've been looking, after this horse for a long time. If the opportunity would have come up, for me to ride the horse, and I guess it worked out good for me today.
Yes, sir.
Michael, you had said all along that you were hoping this horse could just get a clean trip. Does this kind of vindicate what you thought he could do if he got that good trip?
You said all along, Michael, you were just hoping he could get a clean trip. Does this performance today vindicate what you had been saying about the need for that clean trip?
Well, I think he showed a lot of gameness today, and believe me, it's sure a lot nicer walking back after the race that's here than it was in the Kentucky Derby, I'll tell you that.
Michael, how would you compare how Union Rags came up to the Belmont relative to how he came up to the Derby or any of his other races earlier this year? Better?
No, he came up to both races very, very good. I mean, he couldn't have trained better going into the Derby. He was good all down in Florida. He's a very easy horse to train. He likes to go out in the morning and gallop, and he'll give you whatever he has.
Bob?
Michael, there's a lot of talk the horse wasn't bred to go this kind of distance. What encouraged you to do it, and if you feel vindication in doing it?
A lot of talk, Michael, that Union Rags wasn't bred to get a mile and a half. Do you feel vindication in your belief that he was indeed bred to do so?
Well, I talked it over with Peter, Brett, my assistant, and myself, and we talked it over. And the second dam was Terpsichorus, and she was by Nijinsky, so there's some distance right there. I know Dixie Unions have not gone more than a mile and an eighth, but the way he trained and as big as he is in his stride, we just felt that we were in the same boat as all the other horses in here. They don't know if they can get a mile and a half either.
Excuse me, Michael. Mrs. Wyatt talked about buying the horse back and obviously had a special feeling for it. Can you tell us about that relationship and your relationship with her?
That was her doing it all by herself. I had nothing to do with it, and excuse me. The only thing I found out is that after she sent Russell Jones to the sales, he handed me a yellow slip and said, Phyllis wants you to train him. And I've had horses for Phyllis before, none obviously as good as this one, but she always said, I'm going to have a good one of these days. So I think she kept her promise.
Michael, another question from the press box. Given the
Thank you.
special beverages being brought in. Michael,
Cheers.
given what happened in the Derby, this is from upstairs, the bad trip, have you allowed yourself to play any what-if games in your mind? What if he had gotten a clear run in the Derby and allowed yourself to think about what today could have meant as opposed to...
Well, we always thought this horse had Triple Crown potential. When we've trained him, we gave him 4 races as a 2-year-old, and we gave him a rest, and we had a good plan. He never missed a beat, and his first race couldn't have been any easier. We got in trouble the second race and the third race. So,
Ron?
I mean, I do really think that this horse, when he has a clean trip and can show himself, he is one of the best 3-year-olds of this crop. And whether he could have done something against I'll Have Another, I don't know, but it sure would have been fun to see.
In the back, Ron.
Yeah, Johnny, I talked to you last weekend, you just had finished that 59 flat workout. Your eyes got really big. Did you know something then that you can say more about now?
I was very impressed the way he did it. You know, talking to Michael pulling up, the first thing I said, man, he's pretty strong. So he just did it so easy. I loved the way he handled everything, the way he handled himself, the way when I asked him to do something, and then he was a little bit stronger than I wanted to, but when I pull him out, he didn't kind of run up right away. He just kind of did it gradually. That's what I did like, and when I completely let the hold that I was holding him with, he went gradually and passed the other horse, and right away he went to weight, you know, and it still went 59 and change or 58 and 2, whichever you ask. So he did it very easily, and then galloped out really, really well. So that was why I was very impressed the way he did it. The galloping out, that's what I did like the most.
I have 2 questions from the press box. First is for Michael. Can you just get some housekeeping out of the way and tell us what your immediate plans are for the horse, how long you and the horse will be around, when he'll head back to Fair Hill, that type of thing?
I think if he cools out good right now and in the next couple hours, if we feel good enough and the traffic dies down, either we're going to leave early tomorrow morning or late tonight. I think sort of doesn't make a difference one way or the other. He's going to be turned out in his paddock tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and he loves to go out in the paddock, and I think as soon as we can let the traffic die down, whether it's late this evening or early tomorrow morning, that's when he'll go home.
Do you have any later season targets in mind yet?
Not at this point.
And another question for both of you from the press box upstairs. A lot of people obviously made plans to come to the Belmont, hoping to get caught up in the I'll Have Another excitement and maybe see a Triple Crown. Do you think those people who came under those pretenses will leave today happy and excited by what they saw with Union Rags?
Well, I thought it was pretty exciting. I'm sure John did too.
Me too. You know, listen, even he was not in the race, but I thought this was a very, very, like we say, a very salty race. It was a very good race, very, very competitive race. I mean, even if he was in the race, we don't know if he was going to win the race. You know, we don't know if he's going to handle the mile and a half. I mean, was he ready for it? I mean, obviously he ended up getting hurt, but I thought it was a very exciting race. I think the public should be happy with it, and I thank the media and everybody who actually came in and really put the race out there. You know, I think it was an unbelievable race. So, what do you think?
No, I mean,
We had a question in the back. Yes, sir.
That answer was close to my question, but did the lack of I'll Have Another in this race change anything for the way you ran the race, or is that just
Did the lack of I'll Have Another's participation in the race change anything for you guys tactically or otherwise?
I think Johnny was going to ride his race. I mean, I didn't tell him anything. He told me, and like I say, I never ridden a race in my life, but.
Listen, I think I can ask that question. I think, you know, I Have Another was going to be close to the pace, and there were the 2 horses to follow. Whether I was going to follow I Have Another, or I was going to follow Mike Smith's horse, and that was my plan. My only concern was not to do way too much with him the first part of the race, that I wouldn't have enough to fight Dullahan. I was concerned about Dullahan, especially the way he finished in the Derby. Obviously, he didn't show up today, but I did like him. But those are the 2 horses that I was watching the most, and I guess I was right. I mean, Mike Smith's run all right to the wire, so that was my plan. I just wanted to, you know, get a good rhythm with him, like I said before, and then I'll be watching out for those 2 horses. The other horse wasn't there. It made it a little bit easier for me to watch out for the other one in front, and it worked out for me.
Michael, considering the strong drill that he had at Churchill a week before the Derby, did you consider getting him a drill on this surface before the Belmont?
No, we didn't feel it was necessary because he's run here before in the Champagne, and the track I think is maybe not as deep at Fair Hill, but he didn't have any problems in the Champagne coming up that day, and we just were appreciative that Johnny came down and sat on him so you get a little feel of him.
Bob? Right next door to Bob.
Johnny, you had ridden him in the work. You had never ridden him in a race before. What are you feeling when you are waiting for that whole open? I mean, how confident are you?
I think it's more. I think it's more instance. You know, you expecting. You know, when you do this many times, you know, you're expecting something's going to happen. If it happens, it's brilliant. If it doesn't happen, you're a bum. Basically, that's what I was expecting was going to happen because the other horse moved out in the outside of Mike. And Mike pulled his whip left-handed. He have to drift around to go into the next horse, and it just happened that it worked out that the way I thought it was going to do, and I looked like a genius, I guess. I don't know.
But do you know you have enough horses?
Oh, I did. I mean, he gave me all intentions that he was gonna get through, though. You know, and I haven't. I at that point, I still haven't really get after him 100%. Obviously, I was going towards the heels. I was just keeping him busy, just keeping his mind, just in case it didn't open. I was gonna wheel out. Actually, the other horse got really close to me, and when he got close to me, so I made the decision. Okay, he's gonna come out because he's gonna he's gonna hit left-handed. He's had to come out, and that was my choice. When I really engaged my horse to get into the spot was not open yet, though. You know, that was the only thing, the only concern that I had. But I had to have him ready for it. You know, when the hole opened up a little bit and he saw the daylight, he got through. Once he got through, he put a good fight. You know, and I mean, I was very proud of him the way he did it. You know, so I took a chance, took a shot, if you will, and he did it for me. So you have to give it all to the horse. You know, I tried to do something, it worked out good for me because the horse did help me when I needed him to.
And John, on that same subject, the way you got into him with your right hand, did the way you were whipping him have anything to do with helping create that space? You know?
Well, that's the way we do it. You know, you try to anticipate something's going to happen. And when Mikey hit the first time left-handed, I went for the whipped right-handed, thinking that he's going to drift enough for me to get in there. And once I hit him, he anticipated, the hole opened up, the daylight came up, and he took it right away. The only thing that it took him a little bit, once he got into the hole, it took him a little bit to pass the other horse. I think he was anticipating the other horse was going to come up a little bit. But once I kept busy on him, he actually took it very well and actually galloped out very good, too. I was very proud of him. I am very proud of him, let me tell you.
Okay, we have another question here, and again, I will repeat it for the benefit of those listening upstairs. Go ahead, sir.
Johnny, have you spoken with Marty Gutierrez after the race? And if so, what did he say?
Did
I'm
you
sorry?
speak? The question is for John. Did you speak at all to Mario Gutierrez, either after this race or earlier in the day? And if so, what did you say?
I didn't see him after the race. Obviously, it was like I see him early, and actually see him. I talked to him yesterday. Obviously, we knew about the loss of his mount in the Belmont, and everybody was very sorry for him. I mean, I've been in the same position many times. I've been very lucky that I found another mount in the race, but we were very sorry that he lost his mount in there. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike Smith after the race, John, has been critical of his own ride for leaving the rail open for you. Do you have any comment on Mike's ride?
I probably would have done the same thing if I feel the horse coming into my outside. And I take a pick, it's nobody behind me. I had to take a chance that you have to intimidate the horse that's coming at you. He did not know that I was coming in there, that's for sure, And we all do it, and he's so professional that he's going to be very critical on himself. But at the same time, he doesn't know I was going to get through. I mean, I was right behind. He cannot see me. The only horse he can see is the horse coming in his outside, and that was my chance. We all do it. And sometimes it works for you, and sometimes it doesn't. And it just happened to work for me today.
Yes, sir. The question for both gentlemen, Michael, how does this win compare to Barbaro's win at the Derby? And John, how does today compare to 07 with Rags to Riches? Michael, why don't you start?
Well, they're both great. I mean, it's hard to compare things like that. I mean, obviously Barbaro was a great horse, and to win your first Triple Crown race, it couldn't have been more fulfilling. And then to come back with a horse like this and win the Belmont, that Preakness has just been hard on me. I don't know. But no, I feel very fortunate to have two horses like this. We did think that this horse in the beginning of the year could be a horse that possibly could do the Triple Crown races, and we just got sidetracked a little bit.
Me, I think they're both very close. I mean, and especially the way they both won the race. So you can't separate either or. Though, I think both of the horses run incredibly. You couldn't ask for anything better for them to do. It's very close. They'll be very, very close in my heart. That's for sure.